Alright, let's do this. Okay, time to... Oh. Alright, well, time to put some content out. You know how it goes. Oh, by the way, hello viewers. Me again. Another beautiful day. Yep. Hope your five senses work. Health and strength is good. Or excellent. Alright. Now, what do we got here? Let's see here. Intel XeSS frame generation and low latency leaked. It says here Intel has yet to officially launch its XeSS software stacks, which is similar to DLSS3 and FSR2. Will include two separate modules for upscaling and frame generation. Technology XeSS FG frame generation features has not been available until now. As we know, Intel has not officially launched the new library yet. However, modders in Nexus Mod reportedly already have access to the files and are now distributing it. It's worth noting that Intel will likely distribute the DLL official, most likely when the ARC B580 launch next week. The DLL may have leaked through a game patch in preparation for this launch. We checked Intel official XeSS GitHub repository, but there's no signs of this file. The last update was 5 months ago, and for the XeSS 1.3.1 release. Meanwhile, the mod on Nexus Mod appears to include NVIDIA. Meanwhile, the mod in Nexus Mod appears to include NVIDIA DLSS and AMD FSR along with Intel yet unreleased XeSS. And it says, it's also worth noting that the DLL are primarily useful for modders and those who manually swap files. The upscaling portion of XeSS should work without major issues, but frame generation and low latency DLL requires proper implementation by game developers. It remains unclear whether swapping them with NVIDIA or AMD variants would make it work. The XeSS library, now listed as version 1.32.38, should now serve as easy drop-ins replacement for existing implementation. Intel has yet to mention changes to the upscaling portion in Intel XeSS2. Meanwhile, frame generation library listed as version 0.9.11 will reportedly work only with BattleMag and Alchemist GPU. One more thing that should be mentioned is that despite the earlier promise, Intel has not released its XeSS technology as open source. The company only provides SDK and precompiled libraries. It appears that this approach won't change in the future. And let's see your 10 comments. Someone says, mine said this, files likely came from Marvel Rivals, as game already comes with XeSS2 files. Whether or not XeFG is actually implemented hasn't been confirmed yet to acknowledge. Thanks for sharing my work. However, I posted it to Mediafire in case someone doesn't want to use Nexus, or if Nexus removed the mod. And then Cardi says this, hey, thanks all for the work you did. I got a silly question since I have never really did any of those DLL swaps in the past. If I play a game that does support XeSS, can I add FG2 or just update XeSS itself? And then Starfall said this, why do Nexus even remove mods like this? I think I saw someone with Frame Gen 3 disappearing too. It was for another game though. And Soup was like, probably because redistribution without permission violates the software license, at least in the case of DLSS. Not sure about the other two. And then he says, that's why mods usually tells you to download the DLL file for yourself separately. And then Fury said this, wonder if the entire thing should be just one DLL from each, or would that be more annoying to try and mix different versions of this upscaling? That's why you wait, man. Then Ma said this, users with Meteor Lake notebook iGPUs and Arrow Lake desktop iGPUs, which don't have XMS for Intel frame generation. now must use AMD frame generation and combine it with XCLL if that's possible. Kinda hilarious. Then Elegant said this: no XMS is for matrix acceleration and has nothing to do to run frame generation. IDK. He said, why you spout nonsense here? And then who was this? Then Ma said this: you're spouting nonsense. XMS is required for Intel own frame gen solution. XCSSFG. Check other articles about it. You'll see. Theoretically, XMS unites. Theoretically, XMX units would most likely not be necessary, but until Intel itself offer a workaround, it remains a hardware requirement. Facts. Anyway, yeah. Well, Intel, it's leaked, but I mean, with this article, you're gonna have to wait for the official release. You know, that's the thing about when you leak stuff. You know, you gotta be careful because there's licenses and that's involved. So if you break that rule, you know, you could be facing some fines for it. So, but like they say in the comment, like they say when it comes to modders, you know, they tell you to download it yourself. You know, so yeah, you gotta be careful with it. But when it comes to this leak, I would say wait for the official release of XeSS2. You know, they might release it. Probably say they may release it like not this year, but probably next year. You know, once their handhelds are out on the market, they probably release it with an update. So, I mean, as an update. So when they do that, I'll let you. I'll read the article to you. But it's good to wait. You know, it's good to wait, especially when stuff are leaked. You know, because when stuff leaks, you know, it has to be accurate. You know, you can't just be leaking stuff just to be leaking it. You know, just like with the MSI Claude 8 AI, you know, they updated some things because there was a lot of news out there saying things that wasn't true. So Intel came back and made the final correction on it. So yeah. So when it comes to this, man, take this information with a grain of salt, you know, and wait for the official release. Especially when you're messing with DLL files too. You better know what you're doing, because if you don't, you might mess up your computer. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this video for y'all to enjoy it out. Nice talking to you people again. Crystal, Star Wars, Star Trek, board, Dark Side. Go home.